Yeah, and at this point in time, the open meetings requirements have been met. At least there's been notice for the meeting. That's why we're here today on that end of it. And I guess you need to get approval from the body of what the annual meeting minutes are here for today, for the last month.
All right. So we want to get approval for the last meeting?
So move.
Meeting.
Second.
Approved.
So approved?
Yes.
Thank you.
And now we get into the public comment time, and if there's anybody that needs to talk about public comments on anything other than an item on the agenda, we're available at this point for
Yep.
somebody to come forward.
Anyone?
None here.
No public comments?
All up to y'all now. Come on.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good morning still.
Morning.
My name is Emily Mack, and I am with River City Company. And I've come before you before to share and discuss the future redevelopment of AT&T Field. And I think the last time that I was here, I shared that we were drafting a request for information and interest, which we did. And that was released in February of 2025. That helped us gather information and helped inform a request for proposal. And that's where we are today. So we are currently drafting a request for proposal for the future redevelopment of Hawk Hill or AT&T Field. And so today, I'm just coming before you to ask for your permission to be able to include that parcel where AT&T Field is located, to be able to include that in that request for proposal. So I just always want to make sure that we're following everything, and so that is all today is about, is just ensuring that we have your permission to include AT&T Field in that future request for proposal.
And I guess the issue before this board on here, currently there is an agreement between the city and River City. We need to make sure about that they have an option of, purchasing that property for a small amount of money.
Right.
And so that's the reason she's wanting to include that in the request for proposals on here.
Correct, due to that original reversion clause that was put in the agreement back in 2000.
Okay.
Couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here. Always nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Relative to AT&T Field, what would be I'm confident you'll get the approval, obviously. What is the timeline for turning that RFP around?
We don't have a definitive exact timeline as of today. Again, we are in the drafting process, and so we want to ensure that draft is good and solid. In addition, we're updating some real estate market data. And so when those tasks are completed, then that will help inform a timeline.
Now, I know you guys will do a good job in terms of marketing the property, but you would need to have this in place before you start that, or are you already marketing it to folks?
No, and so that's the purpose of the request for
Okay.
proposal. And so when that document is complete and when we have established that timeline, typically RFPs, they are released, and you're correct, then we also will proactively share that with local, regional, and national developers so they are aware of that opportunity.
Excellent, okay, good. And then one final question, and I'm not sure this is the exact time for that, but what is the official takeover date of the board and River City for the stadium?
Well, there's at least a time for the new stadium to open, which I've heard is in June of 2026.
Yes,
At least
it's
that's
on
the
time.
time of that. There's also an issue as to, issues as to the removal of the items that are on the property up there and how that will occur, and that's all gonna be resolved.
Right.
You're correct, and so there is no definitive timeline, and it's a little bit too early to know. And so we want to be incredibly respectful of the lookouts, and that's a big thing, right? To relocate to their new home in the Foundry District, and then also play a season, right? And so the season is very busy. They will also need to relocate their offices and their equipment, and so we want to be very respectful of them, and so
Yes.
we will work with them on what that timeline is. So it's just a little bit too early to know at this point.
But we'll give
Well,
the
I'm glad-
lookouts enough time to do everything they need to do before.
Oh, absolutely, yes. We will ensure that we are being incredibly respectful of the Chattanooga lookouts.
Have y'all done a survey on what the general public would like to have on,
Yes, and so actually, when it became apparent that that a new stadium would be built on a new site, River City Company began on a framework plan, on a vision plan for what AT&T Field could be. And the very first thing that we did was community and stakeholder engagement and really understanding what our Chattanooga community would like to see if that site were to be redeveloped. And so we did that in a wide variety of ways. We did just a general survey that anybody could take, but really trying to capture those insights from our Chattanooga and Hamilton County community. We also did some very specific focus groups and stakeholder meetings, because it's also really important to understand what our downtown property owners and what our businesses and area attractions and what our residents want. And so that was actually where we started, and we spent almost the first 6 months just listening to our Chattanooga community about what they would like to see.
And then also, as I recall, you did a very nice open house with some renderings of suggestions and possibilities, and I thought that was very well attended, so thank you for doing that as well.
Yes, and yes, thank you also
Yeah,
for bringing
yeah,
that up.
right.
It's been a little bit, but yes, you are correct. We also had public open houses. Many times we'll have hand-on public workshops and things like that. And so really understanding what Chattanoogan would like to see is very important. We also then performed a detailed market analysis, and so then we understand what our real estate community can also bear, so that we understand that any future redevelopment would be economically viable.
Good. Well, thank you. I think, speaking for the board, I think it's important that we do give them, as much flexibility as they need, because their priority and really to everyone's interest is to get open on that certain date, and then this will take care of itself on down the road. So thank you for that, and thank you for what you're doing to assist with the transition, so to speak, so, and the updates. So thank you.
And thank you so much for being here today. I
Has-
appreciate your consideration.
Has there been any discussion, I guess, and there's one other item, I guess, insofar as there's a large billboard on the property, has there been any discussion about how that use would be continuing in the future? And that's on either 201 or 203.
Not at this time. I think it's, thank you, Mr. Noblet, for bringing that up. And that is something that we are aware of, but there's just a lot of details that are still being worked out. And I think, first and foremost, before we issued any sort of RFP, we just, again, wanted to come before you to receive your permission in order to be able to include that person.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
I would move that we give River City Company the authority to move forward with the RF request as they deem appropriate.
Yeah, pending final approval.
And the final approval from the board.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Ms. Maria, carried.
You're good.
Thank you. Is there any other business that we have today?
it's Phil gonna buy lunch?
They didn't give me a large budget for that here at this point, and I don't see anything out over here. That would be.
They have some crackers in the back, I think.
Yes.
We don't have anything. Are we ready to adjourn?
I think,
You're good.
Make a motion to adjourn?
all right, thank you. Well done.
You did your first one.
I did my first one.
All right.
Count on me being late.